back to my channel. My name is Monette. This is my channel, Evolve with Monette. For those of you that are new here, I'm a professional intuitive empath. So good to share energy with you. We're doing a truck chat today, doing some traveling, and I wanted to tell you something that was just kind of downloaded in, which is about making sure in this month of love, we've been exploring various aspects of love. And one of the things that we come across, and I think I'm going to do a face-to-face with you guys today as well, but one of the things that we come across is confusion when we're in situationships or dating. The dating world today is just, to me, a dumpster fire. Just as an empath, it's just very traumatic, especially walking my clients through it, walking through it myself at times. It can be very traumatic unless you are in the right alignment with someone. And very often you can be dating someone and not realize that they're truly not in the right vibration with you. It takes a while to really suss someone out, to vet them, to understand their motivations, what inspires them, what delights them. And if you are dating someone who may be trying to maybe posture that they want what you want, or maybe they're not even pretending at all, but it will cause confusion in you, empath. You could be the most sure-footed, calm, and decisive person. However, when you get next to someone, it will start to make your vibration wobbly. I have had that experience several times in my life, dating someone who was off because they were happy to be whatever they were or weren't. And I'm pretty focused and driven. And I realized that in order for me to be happy, I need someone who is focused and driven too, in their own way, with their own thing that has nothing to do with me, their own passion. That's something that I've always wanted and always requested and thought I was getting, but I wasn't, right? And that's okay, because not everyone can be as whatever as you. And there's something to be said for counterbalances in relationships too. But the confusion part is what I wanted to address with you, because that's what happens. Even if someone doesn't share your every passion and hobby, if they don't want the same trajectory of a relationship that you do, that's going to cause dissension in the ranks amongst the two of you and absolute confusion. And what usually happens that I see with my clients is that the person that they're dating will project onto them and be like, you're the issue, or you're boring, or you don't do anything, or whatever the complaint is. And that could be how they are perceived by whoever my client's dating. But really, there was not clarity from what they really wanted, because that's not what they were stating in the beginning of the connection. And so that's a thing you gotta really pay attention to with people, because if they don't know what they want or where they're going, it doesn't matter how strong your intuition is, you will end up feeling foggy. And that's one of the worst feelings. And that can happen if you're dating a narcissist. Not everyone's a narcissist though. So, that foggy feeling is just something that you want to pay attention to, because it's your body and your soul letting you know this person isn't really for you. And I will tell you, on the positive, once you realize that someone isn't for you, it makes it so much easier to walk away. And you don't just walk away, you might run away and be really happy about it. I would say when you realize someone doesn't want what you want, leave as soon as possible. People will always try to rope you into well, no, stay for this reason or whatever. Maybe they just want companionship, or maybe they like being liked. In my dating life, that's been something that's come up a lot. People like my adoration, but they don't like me. And so that's something my angels have really helped me to see and discern a lot more quickly as I've been soulmate dating. For you, pay attention to what your pattern or your type of person or type of experience has been. What is the thing that you've noticed that you're like, well, people like this, but maybe not that. And also, this causes confusion in me. You're the first line of defense to check in. So that's something now that I look for, not to say that I look for it to create it or to write a mantra about it, right? But I am highly discerning about no, you want me to like you more than you liking me. Sometimes people, in my life specifically, that's a thing that happens where, for me, dating women, I don't know who you guys date, but whoever you date, for me, dating women, they might want someone that's going to cheerlead them and be their biggest fan, and I do that naturally. That's Leo energy all day. But does that mean that they were ready to reciprocate the kind of energy that I was giving, and were they my biggest fan too, in whatever way. You know, you can't always each be each other's biggest fan at all times, but yeah, you can, sorta. You know what's coming to mind for me is Hunter Woodall and his wife, saying the name wrong. Beautiful Black Queen. Oh my goodness. Oh, her name's slipping me. She does the jumps in the Olympics. They both won gold in their individual races. He's in the Paralympics, and she is Tara and Hunter. They have a YouTube channel here. Maybe I'll link something below. Tara and Hunter are each other's biggest fans. And they are the archetype. And I may do a quick study on them for my couples goals series, because I feel like that's the ideal for my Earth Angel Collective. Meaning, no, we're not all going to be Olympians, obviously, right? But whatever you are an Olympian, quote unquote, in, you want someone who is equally yoked with you. One of the things that I really enjoyed about listening to them as I was watching the run up to the Olympics last year with them was the way that they spoke about Hunter spoke about Tara, and about how, you know, not only is it his best friend, and we all aspire to hear that and say that, but clearly they both are in a sport, so they share their own passions, right? But they run different races. She does the long jump, he does running and track and field, I believe. And he says, I really enjoy being with Tara because she works out with me. We eat the same. There are so many similarities, and they're pushing each other to get exactly what they need. When Tara won the gold medal at the Olympics, she immediately ran and jumped like 15 feet into the air to me. She's truly talented. Into her husband's arms. And the first thing you heard, it was like a moment that went viral, was he was like, you're the gold medal Olympian, baby. He was like beside himself. He was jumping out of his skin out of delight and happiness for her. He wasn't competitive with her, and he still had his own race to run. He had yet to run his race yet. There was a lot of pressure on his head top, as they say, and actually the first race I do believe he didn't actually do it or get it, and it was like a kind of a downer for him. He had a lot of setbacks previous years ago regarding like not even being able to race because his prosthetics weren't fitted correctly. Like, they've held each other down, but they have a similar passion, and that is what I want you guys to aspire to. Not them per se, but the fact that someone could be your biggest fan and not get in your way and help you get out of your own way. Because there are days where Tara, they're very candid on their YouTube channel, doesn't want to do the things, or he doesn't want to do the things, but they get up and they train and they push each other to greatness in their own veins and in their own respective areas, and that's the ideal. And that's not the ideal because of couples goals. That's what you want to seek in partnership. And many of us here at Earth Angels have had partners that were adversarial with us, or high-key, low-key jealous, or if they felt things they couldn't regulate their emotions. It doesn't mean you won't have emotions that aren't always pleasant about whoever you're with, but it means that if you're in a healthy connection and partnership, you can articulate that to them. You can work on it. You can set boundaries. You can say, this feels like this for me. I need more of this. I need less of that. I need more togetherness here. And you can have your needs heard. You know, very often we are having dealt with, from our past, relationships where love was withheld. People withheld it because they didn't want to not look cool or whatever. I don't know. It's a fantastic content creator made something like, the era of not trying hard is finally over. Like, everybody in like the late 2000s was all about like the less effort and make it look effortless. And you know, it made me think of Miles Davis. Like, the thing about making something look effortless is you usually have to be an expert and put a lot of time and effort into it to make it look effortless. Once there's a famous moment of Miles Davis, who was a brilliant jazz artist and trumpetist and musician of all kinds. He wrote a musical score. He watched a movie and they wanted him to write the score for the movie. And that could take weeks, months, maybe even a year, depending. He did it in one night. He sat there, he picked up his trumpet, and he played his trumpet through the whole hour whatever movie, and just was inspired because he was so good at what he did. He was able to show up and smash it. And it stuck. It wasn't like they did a rewrite and let's bring in several other artists and let's take a look. He did it. He just did it. But that's because he was well practiced at it. That's because he was invested at it. And that's because he was an expert at it. I want you guys to become experts at yourself. And then when you do that, you will become experts at knowing how to love someone else too. And put effort into the relationship dynamics and the dating that you choose to do. Don't just be on the type of demon time that the rest of the world is on right now, where it's like a competition of who can care less. And it's okay if that's what you want and that's comfortable for you. But for me and for my collective, I don't really feel like it's something we should be doing. It's nothing I want to do, and it's nothing I want to see you guys do. I feel like you've already been through that enough. People that are practicing and competing on how they can act like they care less. My heart is invested energetically when I decide to connect in any friendship dynamic or soulmate dating dynamic. I'm not playing games. I'm in it for real time and real long hauls and not for shenanigans. And so if you're with someone who is not giving you that, it will cause confusion, and you should be grateful for that confusion you feel, because that is a sign you need to kind of eject yourself out. I'm seeing a fighter jet in my mind's eye. Eject yourself out of that. Now here's the thing about that, because the angel said put the addendum in. If you eject yourself out of a fighter pilot, you could dislocate parts of your body, you could break things. It's pretty traumatic. It costs you something sometimes to get out of something quickly, even on Earth here in a relationship dynamic. But it's worth you saving your life, because if that jet is going to crash, if that plane is going down, whatever fracture, sprain, or dislocation you suffer is worth it, because you end up on the ground in somewhat of one piece. There is something to be said about a release when you realize that someone is disturbing your peace. It's not to say that it may not hurt your feelings. It's not to say that you will not be like, well, I invested my time and energy. But it's either the plane crash and the hot fire of jet fuel where you're incinerated essentially, or it's some discomfort initially to live the rest of your life. So you need to figure out what feels right and understand that even an ejection might cost you as an empath something that feels heavy for you, but it's so much better than staying with someone who's keeping you confused. Choose clarity. And if someone can't tell you what it is, what you are, what they aren't, someone that's invested in you is going to figure that out. Even if it's complicated, even if it seems convoluted, even if it's unconventional. And I know that from my own experiences in my own life. And so I feel like dating should be much simpler for you guys, because for me, dating is a little bit different. For you 100% should be in a space where if you're in any conventional relationship, someone could say to your face or on the phone whatever's going on. But if you feel confusion, then that person for you is wrong. Take my word for it, but then trust your angels and trust your own intuition and trust that fog you feel. If someone can't keep it real, then they're not the real deal. And don't invest any more time. Eject yourself, even if it costs you a bit of discomfort initially, because then you'll be on the path and on a trajectory where you actually can connect with someone who is going to be more like Tara and Hunter type vibes, where they're actually showing up for you and they want to see you win and they want to see you thrive. And they're happy for you, and they love you, and they're going to train with you, work with you, do all the things. You know, obviously we're not all Olympians, but whatever it is that you do, and whatever it is that you need. And there will be adjustments because we're humans with our own needs and wishes, but confusion should not be part of the business of real connection and healthy relationship. That's your message for today. If they're confused, get them out of the way. Because they will confuse you, and then it takes you a minute to recalibrate. In order for me to leave some of the toxic connections I've had, I've run it past real good friends and been like, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Now, I'm not a person who likes to chat with others about my relationship. That's a personal thing for me. I like to really, really, really be dialed in. But towards the end of something, when I know, like, wait, I don't think this person likes me. I think this is a trick and a hoax and a jokes. That's when I will take it to people that I trust the most. Not during it, because people have all different motives, and you have to be careful. That's another message here too. People are not always as happy for you as you think they are, and that's not to like make you be paranoid or to be outlandish. I'm just telling you, incubate your connections and your relationships until you're sure about the person and whatever it is, and they can withstand whatever the outside energies that may opine or have, eyes on whatever the connection is. That protection will save you a lot of headaches, sis. I promise you. But towards the end, if you're like dealing with someone and the end could be 2 weeks, the end doesn't have to be 17 years. But whatever it is, if you don't have clarity, then you have people that you trust. You have your besties, you have your friends, you have whatever. And if they love you, they'll tell you what they see truly, but they'll still let you choose freely. You don't have to listen to anybody that's opining, but someone's guidance may help you if you feel that level of confusion. I always say take it to your angels first, but trust yourself. That's what all this work on earth is about, is learning to discern and understand your intuition more clearly. So if someone's causing you confusion, then he's not it, sis. She's not it, sir. Him, her, whomever you're dealing with, they're not the one. If they make you feel uncomfortable and they seem like they are numb. All right, that's your message for today. Thank you guys for joining me. Come back and join me next time. I will continue to evolve together. Let's see.